Welcome back to Eurofootball Daily for this week's edition of Euro Transfer Talk. We're now entering the final stretch of the transfer window with it slamming shut in less than 3 weeks across most of the continent, so let's get straight into it. We start somewhere we have started many times before this window, with an update on the Manchester United Jadon Sancho saga. It's been widely believed that despite both sides continuously stalling on a deal, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side and Borussia Dortmund would eventually come to an agreement over the Englishman's future. And it seemed even more likely last week as reportedly the Old Trafford club reached an agreement over personal terms with the 20-year-old's representatives. But as any football fan knows, these contracts in principle are irrelevant if the seller doesn't accept an offer from the buyer. Unsurprisingly, Dortmund are refusing to budge from their €120 million valuation of Sancho, the figure they've quoted since this whole ordeal began. United have been quietly confident they could get something of a discount on it as a result of the financial impact of the pandemic, but that doesn't appear forthcoming. So Ed Woodward and co are now preparing to walk away from the deal this summer and go again in 12 months' time, saving that little bit of extra money to meet whatever Dortmund might ask for at the end of the 2021 campaign. In the meantime, United will look to target a stopgap, likely a more experienced player either on loan or for a fraction of the price. So who are the targets? The biggest name on this list is a certain Gareth Bale. Last week we brought you an update that wasn't an update worth mentioning, but 7 days later and it's all changed. Whilst it's been known for a while that Zinedine Zidane wants away from the Welshman, we've never actually known what it would take to get the deal done, but we do now. Only €20 million is the asking price, putting both Manchester United and Tottenham on high alert, with Solskjaer's side both leading the way and Bale's move of choice, regardless of his strong affiliations with former club Spurs. And to make the deal even sweeter, Los Blancos are apparently willing to pay half of his £600,000 a week wages just to get him out of the door. That would still mean that both interested parties would somehow have to cover the other $300,000 a week if Bale doesn't want to take a wage cut, which isn't something you'd anticipate either Spurs or United doing. If either club can convince him to take a pay cut, then maybe the Welshman could be back in the Premier League soon. Another target is Juventus' Douglas Costa, who has also been put up for sale by his club. The 29-year-old has long had injury troubles, missing the end of last campaign and is set to miss the start of this one too. And new boss Andrea Pirlo does not have the patience for him to recover before judging his worth at the Serie A champions. Reportedly available for a similar fee to Gareth Bale, Man United are again amongst the favourites to sign the Brazilian, but both Everton and Wolves are interested in a move for the former Bayern Munich winger. But this doesn't mean he'll head to England. A number of clubs from the UAE also want him, and we all know they're capable of rivalling a Premier League pay packet. The final Sancho stopgap at Manchester United could well be Ivan Perisic. The Croatian spent last season on loan at Bayern Munich where he won the treble, but the Bavarians decided against making the move permanent. This means the 31-year-old is back at Inter Milan, where despite his success over the last 12 months, it seems there isn't much of a future for him. Perisic himself confirmed he was on the verge of a move to Old Trafford back in 2017, before a change of management at Inter convinced him to stay. However, that doesn't seem likely this time around. You'd expect Antonio Conte to accept another loan offer for the veteran, meaning he could be even cheaper than Bale or Costa. But Manchester United fans, we want to hear from you. If the Sancho move does ultimately fail, which of these three would you like instead? Bale, Costa or Perisic? Or something else altogether? Let us know, as always, in the comments below. With the new season just kicking off, if you want to keep up to date with everything football from around the continent, make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a video. We now move on to our headline story, which features one Kylian Mbappe. Last week we brought you news that Real Madrid were intending on making an offer for the starlet next summer, foregoing any major additions in this window to be able to afford him. But it now seems that there's going to be more competition from Mbappe than Madrid initially anticipated, after the 21-year-old told PSG that this season would be his last at the club. This time next year, the World Cup winner will be entering the final year of his contract, with his comments alerting both Manchester clubs as well as Premier League champions Liverpool to his potential availability, costing the Parisians a cool €170 million on his permanent move in 2018. The Qatari-run outfit could hope to as much as double their initial outlay for the prodigy if they do decide to comply with Mbappe's wishes. and in addition to some £300 million any club will be expected to pay as his transfer fee, the Frenchman is also anticipating a significant rise in his salary. Currently on around €15 million a year or €300,000 a week, it was reported that he wanted to match Neymar's €750,000 a week salary to stay in the French capital. However, if he does leave, it's expected Mbappe would be content with an extra €5 million a year, which works out at around €400,000 a week. In order for Liverpool to fund a move for the Frenchman, you'd expect they'd have to sell one or even two of Firmino, Mane and Salah, with the other suitors far less likely to balk at an outlay of over €400 million in order to secure the future Ballon d'Or winner for the foreseeable future. But we want to hear from you. Do you actually think Kylian Mbappe will leave PSG at the end of this season? And if he does, who do you think are favourites to sign him? Let us know in the comments below. Now to Inter Milan, where sensationally it seems like Christian Eriksen's time at the San Siro could be coming to a very abrupt end. Just 8 months after a protracted negotiation saw the Dane move to Italy from Spurs, Conte apparently doesn't see a future for him in his preferred 3-5-2 formation. After telling his previous employers he wanted to try something new, the 28-year-old struggled in Serie A, completing just 700 league minutes and making just 11 starts across all competitions, contributing 4 goals and 3 assists. So why has it gone so wrong for Eriksen in Italy? According to Calcio Mercato, Conte considers him lazy when the team doesn't have the ball, and when they do, their style of attack isn't suited to Eriksen's strengths. But they may struggle to shift him. After splashing £25 million on Spurs' want-away star back in January, there is no asking price set and no clubs interested, despite reports suggesting Russian side Zenit St. Petersburg could be tempted into a move. But that was quickly shot down by their CEO Alexander Medvedev, who said, "I don't want to waste time talking about this. Looks like Eriksen could be Conte's for a little while longer, whether he likes it or not." From one player that Conte wants rid of to another he seemingly can't wait to be reunited with. Marcos Alonso's Chelsea future is up in the air after the Blues' acquisition of Ben Chilwell from Leicester City, and with Frank Lampard open to letting the attacking left-back leave, Inter want to bring him to the San Siro. Alonso was a regular under Conte when he was in charge at Stamford Bridge between 2016 and 2018, making 81 appearances in all competitions, scoring an impressive 14 goals and setting up a further 7. Known for being more adept at going forward than covering defensively, having cover behind him in the form of a 3 could work to Alonso's strengths. And at just 29 years old, the Spaniard is basically a youngster compared to Inter's current options in that role. Asamoah is 31, Ashley Young is 35, whilst new styling Kolarov is 34. Valued at €18 million by Transfermarkt, this transfer could prove good value for both Chelsea and Inter Milan. But what do you think? Should Conte look to be reunited with Alonso? Let us know in the comments. We round off this week's Euro transfer talk with news on the future of Roma attacker Cengiz Under. The 23-year-old Turkish international arrived in Rome from Istanbul Başakşehir back in 2017 and netted 17 goals in 26 matches in his first campaign. But since then he has been beset by injury problems, managing less than 900 league minutes last season. And as he drops down the pecking order at the Stadio Olimpico, Premier League clubs have identified him as a potential bargain signing in the closing weeks of the window. Leicester City are interested in the tune of £23 million, whilst Newcastle United have also expressed an interest in bringing Under in on loan. Bundesliga side Hertha Berlin are also reportedly interested in making a move for the out-of-favour Turk, who was recently also on Manchester United's shortlist. Roma would prefer not to let Under go on a permanent deal however, instead favouring a loan move, if any move at all. So that's it for another week of Euro transfer talk. Was there any stories we missed out? Let us know in the comments below, and as always if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe and comment, and we'll see you next time.